Now, the Cavs still have the #1 seed in the East, but we've created a Cavs level of concern meter. Let's look at some of the photos. It's how concerned should the Cavs be? Now, here's level 1. That's no concern at all. You're raising the trophy there. That's
LeBron not looking all concerned right there.
And trolling in the Ultimate Warrior t-shirt. A level of concern, too. Things looking happy. There with Kyle.
He looks happy. Maybe a little something behind the eyes. It's kind of like,
I don't know. That looks like a genuine
here,
smile.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3. All right. Well, number 3. Now we're maybe looking up at the scoreboard. Maybe we're looking at the shot clock.
That's the "are you kidding me" look. Like one of his teammates just turned the ball over, and he's like, "You got to be kidding me! He just did that."
It was probably J.R. Smith. This one now is level of concern. This is probably aimed at some sort of referee. Maybe again at J.R. Smith.
They had a lot to say about the referees over the weekend. Kyrie Irving held his tongue, though. He calculated the cost of what he would say about refs. Said it's not worth it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't want a $25,000 fine.
Yep.
Now, this one really is at J.R. Smith. We know this. Level of concern at an all-time high. So on a level of 1 to 5, how concerned should the Cavs be at this point?
I'd say it's a 2 at the most.
2 at the most?
2 at the most. And here's why. This team and this guy, LeBron James, they know how to flick the switch. It happens every year. LeBron, whatever his method is of leadership, he gets his teammates ready for the playoffs. Cavs, since he's been back, have never lost a first-round game. They're 8-0. He hasn't lost a first-round playoff game since 2012. That was against the Knicks and Carmelo Anthony. That's 17 straight first-round playoff wins for LeBron in Miami and Cleveland. So when it's time to come out of the long regular season, he flicks the switch, and so do his teammates.
Yeah, listen, we had Richard Jefferson on the show last week. He basically said as much, that the team can flip the switch. I would put this at a level of concern, probably 4.
4? Really?
I am. I don't think they're going to lose the first round of the playoffs, but if I'm LeBron, maybe I'm this concerned because I want to use it as a motivating tactic. Now, I think he already thought he used the motivation back at the end of March to flip the switch to April. Well, now you are coming off of this loss, and this is a bad one. I mean, against the Hawks, when you feel like you have this wrapped up, to then have to exert yourself to the level of blowing the lead and then having to play overtime, which LeBron James fouled out of. Friday's loss, I'm not going to take into account too much. They rested 4 starters, I understand it. Sunday's loss, I'm a level 4 concern. Now, here's a bit of a conspiracy theory for you, right? I'm curious whether it might be more beneficial to the Cavs to actually be the 2 seed. Stay with me, because then they would play the 7th seed in the first round. That would be Indiana. They're 3-1 against the Pacers. Meanwhile, against the teams that could have the 8th seed, who they'd match up with first in the first round, they're 0-4 against the Bulls, and they're 1-2 against Miami.
I see where you're going with those numbers, and they support what you're saying. But when I go back to that first round, there's no way they're losing a first-round series. So then when I dig a little bit deeper here and look at the teams they may face round 2 or the conference finals, the top teams in the East. You got the Celtics, you got the Wizards, you got the Raptors. Cavs are 8-2 against them this season. The upper echelon of that conference, the Cavs have done fairly well. I think that sets up for a nice run. And I also think it supports the idea that matchups are everything in the NBA playoffs, and they match up well with the better team.
Yeah, that's true. I do not see them losing the first round, but I can see perhaps losing the first game of the first round. Maybe even. What
will the concern meter? It'll go through the roof if they lose that first game in the first round, right?
It's going to be LeBron James with smoke coming out of his ears. Will be the concern meter. But right now, yes, I'm putting it as a 4. Ryan, you're not sweating it too much.
I'm going like 1.5 at this point. Okay. Yeah, Maggie.
Absolutely. Hi Lou is going to be happy about that.